Now there's some essential elements to a Chinese brush painting. Usually there are very tall mountains. So this one has a lot of mountains and the pagoda is right here. Whereas this one has some of these tall mountains hidden to the side, and this one has it over here, and actually that it's sitting on a mountain but a little closer up. There's usually water, trees, bridges, some more trees here, some trees here, some trees here, and then always the details of the pagoda. So what we're going to do today is use this Sumi ink. It actually is from China. It's super cool. And on the tables I have inspiration for you. I have the examples that I just showed you, and I have others examples from Chinese brush painting. Now, there is a very specific way to hold your brush when you're doing Chinese brush painting. You are going to always hold it straight up and down. A lot of you want to hold it like a pencil, like you're doing here. I want for you to be up and down. The other thing is that you actually want your paintbrush to almost just dance on the paper. Chinese brush painting is about doing things kind of quickly and not being uptight about it. So let me give you an example. If I was going to start my Chinese brush painting, I might start with the idea of having it being on a mountain. I'm going to dip it into the ink, and I'm going to come over here and holding my brush straight up and down, I'm just going to kind of let it dance along the paper. Now I'm hardly touching it. It's almost like I have to practice touching it light. If you're going like this, you're pushing way too hard. And you should almost see like the trail of ink. The ink should look really wet on the paper when, yeah, you can see it glistening there. It should look really wet. So I'm going to holding my brush up and down, I'm going to do this again, and I'm kind of just making a rough terrain for it with the mountains. And now I'm going to begin my pagoda. So to do a pagoda, you're going to do a line up and down, and then you're going to do a smile. From there you're going to make these two lines, which is going to create the eaves and a horizontal line going across. If you can do that, then you're styling. So now we're going to move on up. I'm going to do this again. Two lines, a smile, a line here and a line here, and going straight across. Now, we talked about there being an odd number of layers on a pagoda. So as you continue doing this, you're going to have to eventually count and say, where am I at? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can have 5 layers if I want, or I can go all the way up to 7. So I'm keeping my brush straight up and down. I think I'm going to like go crazy and go all the way up to 7. And on your top one, you're going to make like a V here. Now, on the very top, then we're going to have our steeple. And I'm going to put those discs on there. And I'm going to put a little ball. Sometimes they put like a crescent moon or something like that. Now what I'm going to do is say, okay, what were some of the other things? Okay, there's rocks. Sometimes there's a bridge. I could pretend that this is water and I could have a little bridge coming here like this. Really easy. I could come here and say, oh, there's a tree. Again, my brush straight up and down. You're going to have to remind yourself every once in a while because you might forget. And I could even come over here and do some of those tall mountains over here. Now that I have that, I really need to get some details on my pagoda. So if you look at the pagoda sheet, you're going to notice some of the details, and you can just copy them. You could come here and do a doorway. You could come and you could do something like this. You could put some windows on there if you like. Again, hardly letting the paintbrush touch the table and or the paper, and then always coming back. Is my hand in the way? So I'm going to finish off my details here. Can do something here and here. Now at the very end, I don't want to put on too many more details because I don't want to drive you guys crazy if I wanted to. Here. I can't stop! I'm putting the little bells that a lot of times they have on there. At the very end is when we need to add some of our shades of gray. And it's almost like we're gonna be coloring it in, but it's gonna go very, very quickly. You're gonna finish this, you'll put the paintbrush here, and you're gonna move over to this station. Now this station has 2 cups that look exactly like the ones you just did, but it has this guide here that this is a dark gray and this is a light gray. You're gonna take one of these big brushes, and I'm gonna start with the dark gray. I'm gonna dip it in here, and I'm just gonna come here and I'm gonna kind of fill in my mountainscape here. Notice that again, with the brush painting, I'm hardly even being like fancy. I'm just like kind of going blah, 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 blah. Over here, I can come and do my mountains. And I could even come and like put some little things on my tree here. Now, when I'm done, I can just go like this, put it into the lighter gray, and I can come over here and maybe start to color in my pagoda a little bit. And again, notice that I'm not taking a lot of time. It's kind of quick. I can come and go around some of my windows like this.